Hey guys, welcome to the Transcend PMU page. Today I am going to go over a client who has previous work. So I'm going to show you when is it okay to do cover up or a color correction. And also I'm going to take you step by step on how I get it done. So stay tuned for that. And then I'm also going to be using a lot of Tina Davies products, the inks along with her 1RL cartridge. So if you use Tina Davies, I love it. Use my discount code, you can get 15% off on your order, and I'll put the link and the code in my description box. Let's get started. So here's my beautiful client. She has previous work of microblading, so we decided to go with a combo brow with the hair strokes in the front and shading throughout the rest of the brow. She wants to build on the arch, so when I map out her brows, I'm going to add a little bit more to the arch area and make them a tad thicker, and they will heal so nicely with the color correction and the new shape. Her brows are all mapped out. If you'd like to see a video on this, I'm going to leave it in the description. And for the color, we decided to go with the dark brown from the Tina Davies collection. I love that it has warmth to it, so it's going to cover up the gray. As you can see, I also add the white concealer. I like adding this when I'm doing ombre brows or a combo brow that has mostly shading so I could see my outline better. So I'm going to start out by outlining the whole entire brow. As you can see, I'm wiping through each little section just to make sure I'm getting the outline there. I don't want it to be super dark. I want it to be light so that my shading blends in really nicely. So having light pressure and not going over an area too much to keep that outline nice and light. I work in small sections throughout the brow and I constantly am wiping. So let your client know I'm just checking the outline. I want to make sure the saturation is perfect for your skin type so that they're not wondering what's going on, or I know a lot of clients sometimes think they might be bleeding. So always keep your client aware of what's happening behind the scenes. Also, to let you know, I did speed up this video so my working hand is not this fast, and also this is not to replace any type of training, so if you have no experience, please do not try to do this at home. Once my outline is all done, I'm going to microblade the front strokes of the hair. I do outline very softly in the front where the microblading is, and I take my strokes throughout the front. Then I'm going to rub it all in and add some numbing cream. I do not start with numbing cream. I do not apply it until the secondary numb when the skin is open. And for the numbing cream, I use tag 45. I'll add a little picture so you can see what I'm using. Once the numbing cream is on, I clean up the brow and I work on the other side. So now I'm doing the outline on the left brow, and same thing applies. I'm going to check my pressure, check my outline, and then get to the front strokes of the brow. When you're rubbing in the pigment, make sure you stretch out those microbladed strokes so that you could get everything in there, and then put on your numbing cream and cover it up. I'm going to be going in with a little bit of Tina Davies Golden Sunrise. I'm only going over the gray strokes that have ashed out too much, and I'm only going to do 2 passes of this before starting with my target color. But it is very important, if you're doing a cover up or a color correction, that the previous work has lightened up 50 to 70% for the best result. One of the reasons that we decided to go with the combo brow with the hair strokes in the front is because she already had the previous microblading. I felt like if we would have done ombre brow, you could have seen those hair strokes in the front so that it just looks clean and fresh. I'm going over the hair strokes that she already has, and I'm also adding a little bit more shading in that area just to blend out any imperfections from the previous work. After 2 to 3 passes of the color correction color, we are going to go in with dark brown from Tina Davies I Love Ink collection. So you want to make sure that you're counting your passes so that one brow is not more saturated than the other. I usually like to do 4 passes and then move on to the next brow, and I numb in between just so the client stays really comfortable. But when you're having a good conversation with your client, you can lose track of your passes, so being consistent on that with each person so that you're getting really good results. When working, you always want to make sure that you're having a 3-point stretch. As you could see, my fingers are stretching in 3 different directions. I hold my machine at a 90-degree angle, and then I'm constantly cleaning my needle in case little hairs or skin gets trapped inside of there. So keeping a needle clean and working consistently. I do not like to work too fast. I know the video is sped up, but I like to keep a consistent speed just so I have nice even saturation and nice healed results. I'm already loving the brow. I could see she needs a little bit more saturation at the arch, but I will come back to that. And I always do 2 to 3 passes on my microblading strokes just to make sure I have the correct depth. I'm gonna rub that all in and then add some more numbing and move on to the next brow. To go over my machine and cartridge, I'm using the Mass Tour machine at speed 6 and 7, and I'm using the iHeart Ink cartridge 1RL 25mm. I'm starting off with the color correction again, and this is the Tina Davies Golden Sunrise to warm up the gray. The color dark brown that I'm using from the iHeart Ink collection also has a warm undertone, so that's also going to help correct and tone down that ashiness. We do not want to have any ashed out brows when they come back for touch-up. These will heal really pretty into a nice brown. After I complete 4 passes on this side, I'm going to move back to the other brow for a perfecting pass. So this is where I'm going to go over any areas where is needed, and then I'm going to look at the overall brow to see if I want to add anything else. For the perfecting pass, you're only going over areas where needed. You could also use pointillism or a stippling motion to add in any open spaces close to the outline or in the fronts of the brows. Typically on a client, I do 4 to 6 passes, and it really depends on the client's skin type, how their skin is taking the pigment. Sometimes I'll change out my needle to a 3RL if needed, and oily skin tends to take a little longer to grab the color, but it's really on a person-to-person basis. As long as their skin is not being overworked, then I continue until we get the saturation that they want. I'm really loving how this is looking, so I'm going to rub in a little bit of the pigment and add in some more numbing cream and finish up the other brow. I'm just making some finishing touches, but I just wanted to go over, it is so important to go over aftercare with your client. Give them thorough instructions and send them home with instructions along with the necessary things that they need for the healing process. I personally love to give the soap and the healing balm to my client with instructions so they know exactly what to do and what to expect. This not only brings back better retention for you, which equals less work, but also keeps your clients really happy and they love the results. Before I am done, I clean the skin up and I also do a little bit of numbing cream just to brighten up the skin for pictures. But here is the after. They look so pretty. The shape is more defined. They are a tad thicker than before, but they will definitely shrink down and look really nice once healed. And let's take a look again at the before. And here is the after. If you have any questions about the procedure or anything that I used today, please feel free to leave a comment down below.